Your CMS plugin auto-generated your article schema, your organizational schema, and your breadcrumb trail. It all validates. It all looks right. And you cannot figure out why you're invisible. Today, we're breaking down what your website schema needs to look like in 2026 to get your content cited by AI agents. We're defining what schema is, what the research says generic schema is doing to your citation rates, which schema types carry real weight with AI systems, and the 5 steps to get your implementation right. A quick note, there's a downloadable cheat sheet for this episode. The link's in the show notes. Let's jump in. If you're new to schema, here's the short version. Schema is code you add to your website that tells search engines and AI agents exactly what your content is, not just the words on the page, but what those words mean. Think of it as a label on the outside of a box so the machine doesn't have to open it to know what's inside. AI agents like ChatGPT and Gemini are not parsing your JSON LD directly. Your schema feeds into Google's knowledge graph and Bing's entity index. And when an AI agent generates an answer, it pulls from those enriched indexes to decide what to cite. Microsoft's principal product manager for Bing, Canel, confirmed this publicly in 2025. Schema Markup helps Microsoft's LLMs understand your content. And since both ChatGPT and Copilot run on Bing's index, that statement covers a lot of ground. Rank still dominates. Every position drop in Google reduces your AI citation odds by roughly 24%. Schema is a multiplier for pages already in contention, not a shortcut to get there. Here's the most efficient way to approach this. Start with your product and services pages where you have concrete, quantifiable information to populate. Those are the pages where the research shows schemas make the most measurable difference. A study by Marshal, a GEO-focused agency, that was peer-reviewed, DOI published, and built on 730 actual AI citations across ChatGPT and Gemini, found that pages with attribute-rich schema, meaning product or review schema with pricing, ratings, and specifications fully populated, were cited at 62%. Generic schema, the type declarations your CMS drops in automatically without real content behind them, came in at 42%. Pages with no schema at all landed at 60%. Generic schema outperforms having nothing. Now let's walk through the 5 steps to build your schema and get your brand cited by AI citations. Step 1. Audit what schema you already have to understand whether it's helping or hurting. Most sites have schema running that were never intentionally configured. A plugin's been producing it, and it's been generating type declarations on every page for years, and nobody has checked whether those declarations contain any real content or just bare minimum field values. Go to validator.schema.org and run your top 10 or 15 pages through it. Look at what schema types are present and, more importantly, what properties are populated versus empty. If you're running article schema that contains nothing beyond type and URL, that's generic schema. Per the research, it's actively hurting your citation rate. Remove generic schema from pages where you can't populate it with real, substantive content. Step 2, deploy attribute-rich product or service schema on your commercial pages. For lower authority domains with a domain ranking 60 and below, attribute-rich schema was associated with 54% citation rate versus 32% for generic. That's a 22% point gap. This is where schema investment pays off. Populate every relevant attribute, price or price range, aggregate rating with real review data, and a review count. A description that is specific and factual, not marketing copy. Key specifications, features, or characteristics. Availability. The more verifiable, concrete facts in those fields, the more useful the schema becomes as a signal AI systems can act on. The cheat sheet for this episode has the full attribute checklist for every schema type covered here. Link is in the show notes. Use it as a page-by-page audit tool on your commercial pages first. Step 3, build your entity foundation with same as cross-referencing. Fewer than 4% of the pages in the Growth Marshal study had implemented sophisticated entity linking. If you do this, you're in essentially uncontested territory. Organization schema with same as links out to your LinkedIn, your Crunchbase profile, your industry directories, your Wikipedia page if one exists, connects your brand across the knowledge graph. When an AI agent encounters your brand name in a query, those external references help it confirm it's dealing with a real, established entity and not an ambiguous string of text. The same applies to named authors on your site. Add person schema for each one. Link them back to your organization. Link the same as properties to your external profiles. Step 4, use JSON LD only, placed in the head of the document. There are 3 ways to implement schema: microdata, RDF-A, and JSON LD. Use JSON LD. Google's official guidance recommends it explicitly. JSON LD lives in a separate script block from your HTML content, which makes it cleaner for AI crawlers to parse without interference from surrounding markup. Put it in the head of the HTML document. Some implementations drop it to the body, which works for validation tools, but creates inconsistent results across AI crawlers. If you're on WordPress, Yoast and Rank Math both generate JSON LD automatically. The catch is that auto-generated schema is generic by default. You still need to go in and populate the attributes the plugin isn't filling in on its own. Step 5, validate, then test against actual AI agents. Run every updated page through the Google Rich Results test and the validator.schema.org sites. Fix anything flagged before you move on. Then do the manual test. Write down 10 to 15 questions your ideal customer would ask an AI agent about your category, your products, your use cases. Run each one of these in ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google AI overviews. Note who's getting cited instead of you. Do this before you change anything so you have a baseline. Then repeat the same queries 30 to 60 days after your implementation. Here's 2 things to watch out for. First, remember, a generic schema you can't populate isn't neutral. It's a penalty. The research is clear. Generic schema outperforms having no schema at all. If you can't populate product or review schema with real pricing, real ratings, and real specifications, you are better off with no schema on the page than with bare minimum type declarations. Assess what you have. Remove what you can't fill in properly. Second, watch out for schema drift after site updates. Every redesign and CMS migration is an opportunity for your schema to silently break or disappear. The page looks fine, the content reads fine, but the JSON LD block is gone, and your citation rates drop over the next 60 days with no obvious cause. Build a schema validation step into your QA checklist for every deployment. It takes 20 minutes to run the validator. It saves months of recovery time if you catch a breakage before it compounds. The biggest marketing move you can make this week? Go to validator.schema.org. Run your most important commercial page, the page where you most want to be cited when someone asks an AI agent a buying question in your category. Look what's there. Compare it to the attribute checklist in the episode download. If you're running generic schema with empty fields, remove it. Then set aside time to create a schema strategy that assures you have a good shot at getting cited by AI sites. Your marketing move.